self-doubt versus self-confidence this morning, and I am starting with self-doubt. So self-doubt is a habit, and that is just like smoking cigarettes. You get that one cigarette, and trust me, I smoked cigarettes. It had to be, if not 20, then almost 20 years of my life. I know I was a teenager when I started smoking cigarettes. No, I do not smoke cigarettes anymore. I have overcome my nicotine addiction, thank God. But it's a habit. Once you get that nicotine in you, then you want more, and then like you don't even have to be craving for that nicotine to light up a cigarette. Now you just so used to having a cigarette in your hand, now you just lighting it up because you used to having a cigarette in your hand. I'm not telling you because somebody told me this. I'm telling you because I know. Sometimes if you go, as for all the cigarette smokers out there, if you go too long without having a cigarette in your hand, you eventually gonna want that cigarette in your hand. So self-doubt is a habit. We get in the habit of doubting ourselves. Like, you could want to feel the confidence and all of that kind of stuff that you want to feel. You know what you want to do and you want to feel pumped up and good about it, but you have gotten so much into the habit of doubting yourself that you fall right back into it. So now you just doubting yourself again, and you are not even doing the thing that you want to do so badly. Like, you want to overcome and do certain things and get somewhere in life, and you are continuing to talk about these things. You have hopes, you have dreams, you have goals, but you got the habit of doubting yourself. We got to stop doing that. We can't keep doing that, y'all. We cannot continue to be in the habit of doubting ourselves. It will literally get in the way of where we need to go. So don't doubt yourself. I'm telling you, these things come over time. If you have been doubting yourself all your life, then it is like natural to you right now. You have to literally break through that wall of self-doubt and get rid of it and work towards not doubting yourself or encouraging yourself or being more confident in yourself. So we have to replace that self-doubt with something else. Get out of the habit of doubting yourself. You don't want to be that person who allows self-doubt to get in your way. Your doubts and negative talks are only true if you believe it. A failure is only real if you accept it as failure. No, I didn't do everything that I wanted to do when I tried to do it, and my businesses, I ventured off in so many different journeys. I was thinking about how much of a hustler that I have been for so many years. I started doing hair when I was in middle school. When I was like 14, I made hundreds and hundreds of dollars a week. Even like straight out of middle school, I was so good at doing hair. I had my main clientele, my main customers, same people used to come to me all the time. I loved it. I moved on. I used to hack. Listen, I used to hack like the hacks down in Route 9. I was going to get to the bag one way or another. So y'all know who y'all be talking to. I used to hack. Then I bought myself like this truck one time. I used to move people. Like, I literally used to throw couches on the back of my truck and be like, somebody called me. And once I started moving people, I was just like that girl with the truck that used to move people. They used to make like 10 trips from your old house in West Philly to your new house up here on Stanton Avenue. And you paid me. Like, you know what I mean? I had enough to fill up my gas tank a couple times, and I left with a couple dollars. Like, you was happy and I was happy too. But it's just so funny because during this study, it just made me think about how much of a hustler that I really used to be. Like, and that, I mean, I didn't need nobody to tell me, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that. Like, some of the stuff, like, I couldn't even believe I did it until it was actually done. I like, Dad, well, you all moved in, huh? It's funny because I used to grind. I used to really grind from the muscle, and that's just the same person that you still looking at today. I don't know. It's probably other stuff that I used to do, but like in between jobs was not even a thing for me because I always knew how to find a way to get to the bag, keep a couple dollars in my pocket, and that was just something that I always did, and I didn't have to allow, my doubts or my negative talk to get in my way because I believed in the things that I could do. I believed that I could do the things that I wanted to do, and I encouraged myself, and that allowed me to move on and continue. It's just so funny because I don't know what made me think about that because during this study, I was like, dang, like you always was like doing something. Like if anybody can say anything about me, they can talk about what I used to do and all of that kind of stuff, but I ain't asked nobody for nothing because I made my own money and I always had a couple dollars in my pocket no matter what I was doing. Like, so what people think of you in their own mind is none of your business. We got to learn how to mind our business. People will think of you whatever they want to think of you, and you cannot control the thoughts that other people think in their mind about you. Like, it really does not make a difference to you. It don't reflect on your FICO score or your paycheck or none of that kind of stuff. And then we try so hard to do so many things to make people think the way that we want them to think about us, when people won't think what they want to think about you anyway. They might even act like they like you to your face, but behind your back, they talking about you. They telling a whole nother story. You cannot control how people feel about you and what people think about you. So you might as well don't even waste your time trying to do that when you could be focused on you, your dreams, your goals, your ideas. Your dreams and ideas. Oh, I love this part. I love this part. I was like straight on the edge of my seat when I did the research on this. So some of y'all might think I'm taking shots at my haters, but I'm not. Like, I really just came across this in my research. Your dreams and ideas may be too big for some people to accept, and certain people want to hold on to a perception of what you are, of what you were, or what they want you to be for their own comfortability. They think that your elevation means their demise. Just because others can't see your vision doesn't mean it's impossible. So, I mean, a lot of people is just so corny for that. They won't support you. They won't, shout you out on social media. They are used to you being whoever you were in the past. And I come across it so often. People don't want to accept me as a motivational speaker. People don't want to accept me as an author. Certain people will call me, or hey, what's going on? And they talking a whole bunch about this or about that. Or if I was to get into, like partying or, whatever else that interests them, whatever they want to talk about, we can talk about that all day long. But if I mention my books, which I'm going to talk about my books because it's a part of me right now. If I talk about my books, or I talk about me being a motivational speaker, or I talk about the things that excites me right now, me doing this, or my YouTube channel, or all that kind of stuff, they blow it straight off and they won't even entertain having a conversation about me being the new me or me being who I am right now. They just don't want to accept it. And I'm getting it from all different angles. I'm getting it from family members. I'm getting it from friends. I'm getting it from, people, church people, everybody, preachers. I'm going to say it like, my elevation does not mean your demise. You have, and so this is what the study says. It says people have themselves set up in a certain position in their own mind. So they feel like they here. And if you start rising up to maybe their level, they're afraid that they might start rethinking of who they really are. Well, am I really this? It might make them start doubting themselves, which is ignorant if you ask me, but it's true. People might start doubting themselves and who they are and their position and what they worked 20 years for and all of that kind of stuff because they see this new girl coming in and no, I ain't gonna support her, no, I ain't gonna share her messages, or no, I ain't gonna shout her out, or no, I ain't gonna give to her nonprofit, or no, I ain't buying none of her books and all that kind of stuff because who she thinks she is. I've been doing this for 20 years. My elevation does not mean your demise. I did not know that I was going to come across this during this study. But when I did, I was like, wow, because I'm getting it so much. Like, I'm getting it from everybody. They just act like this part of me don't exist, like it's here. And it ain't going nowhere. You can ignore it as much as you want to, but it don't have nothing to do with you because my journey and what God has me doing is between me and God. So whether you acknowledge it or not, who cares whether you support me or not? The people who are going to have an impact off of my motivation, the lives that it is going to help transform or turn into a better direction, it is going to reach the people that it is going to reach. And how you feel about it is not going to affect it at all. You know, somebody who is really confident within themselves won't be so ignorant to think that someone else's elevation means their demise. Listen, I'm not taking those shots at nobody because I literally see people taking shots at me. Taking shots at me. People in high positions on publicly. I'm like, wow, like I didn't even know that I was that thorough, but I am. I am, because people really out here taking shots at me, and that's so crazy because obviously you have some insecurities within yourself that you think my elevation means your demise, and it doesn't. And it's not going to make a difference on what God has me doing because you choose to ignore it or you choose not to support it or whatever. And I'm just using myself for example because that thing hit home. I'm sorry. That's like literally what I am experiencing right now, so, but I mean, this could mean, for you, whatever your situation is, if you can relate to that part, then, people might try to keep you in their bubble. Oh no, you ain't gonna elevate around me. Like, you can't stop my elevation. You can't come in between what God is doing for me. And just because I'm elevating, that don't got nothing to do with what you put your 20 years into or what you've been doing or what you're doing right now. Me and you are two different people. It's enough out here for everybody. Like, it is. Like, it's literally enough out here for everybody. You might be able to give and offer this world something that I don't have the skills or capability or whatever to offer the world. And I might have something that you might not have to offer. I might do it in a way that may have not been effective for you. Our techniques are different. We got to still know who we are and what God is using us for, because what I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with what you doing. You keep doing what you're doing, because I am definitely going to keep doing what I am doing. So, my bad, y'all. I ain't mean to sit there for so long, but when I came across that part of my study, I was like, wow. Like, wow, because people are so like, and it just really reveals how you feel about yourself. Like, are you really confident in where you are and who you are and what you are doing at this point in your life right now? So, don't try to keep me in the bubble that you want to kid. Like, if it was up to people, like, it's probably still somebody sitting somewhere right now waiting for me to start getting high again, or waiting for me to, come buy some powder off of them, or, start by drinking or going popping, smoking cigarettes, or, it's somebody out here that's waiting for me to fail. Please don't hold your breath. Please don't hold your breath. But anyway, I'm gonna keep moving on. So now we're gonna get into some self-confidence. So all of that was about self-doubt. I really I just kind of like separated the two things. We are talking about self-doubt versus self-confidence. So that whole first section was about self-doubt, and we're gonna get into some self-confidence. So excuse me, self-confidence is the belief in the effectiveness of one's own ability. So how you feel about yourself, or do you feel like you can do the things that you really want to do? Do you believe in yourself? So it literally says the belief. We have to believe in ourselves. You got to believe that you can do the things that you want to do. If you don't believe in yourself, then who else is going to believe in you? So I wrote about a fact about matter of fact, let me just say this: how can you convince anybody that you can do the things that you want to do if you can't even convince yourself? You have to believe in yourself. I wrote down a fact about self-confidence. So here it is: people with self-confidence experience less fear and less anxiety. It will allow your having self-confidence will allow your authentic self to shine through. You want to be authentic. We have so many carbon copies of everybody doing the same thing, wearing the same thing. Everybody got an iPhone and all of that kind of stuff. iPhones might be good, I don't know, I never had one before. Just using that one thing for example, but people are not authentic. I mean, they talking like each other. They saying the same thing. They each other say, look, I can't, my kids be having me saying the same dumb stuff that they be saying. And I say it because it sounds stupid. And I want them to know how dumb some of the stuff that they say sound when they say it to me. So I say it back to them. So we could do that all day long. But it's just so many, our authenticity is not shining through because we are so worried about what other people are doing that we don't even know how to be our own self. I never owned a pair of Timberlands a day in my life. Like, I know, that's shocking, right? Like, I never even put a pair of Timberlands, the butters that everybody had. I never in my entire life went to anybody's store and said, do you got these butters in my size? I know a lot of people, that was the thing and all of that kind of stuff. And my sister, my twin, shout out to you, I love her to death. She get ready to graduate from the police academy next week. She was the type of person, she used to wear butters, and she looked at me like I was crazy, like, well, why don't you buy yourself a pair of Timberlands and all that kind of stuff? I don't like them. I don't like them. And then when I started hearing the history about the tree, that what it represents, and then I was like, that's when you completely lost me, because I used to buy my kids Timbs, but I never bought myself a pair. And then I stopped buying my kids Timbs, and then I know I'm just using Timberlands for example because I know that that's one thing that everybody kind of like jumped on board with, and Timbs was a thing, and still to this very day you got a lot of Timberland wearing people out here, and I was just never one of them. I don't feel bad because I never owned a pair of Timberland. I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Timberland company or whatever. I don't even know if that theory they said about the tree is real, or something about lynching and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just know that I don't like them. They're not for me. And what probably made me not want to get them even more is because I hate the fact when somebody do something, everybody else start doing it. That will push me away more than anything else. Like, if I see everybody jumping on board with this one thing, I will deliberately go in the other direction, because that's just what kind of person that I am. I hate doing the same thing that everybody else is doing because I won't realize my own self. Like, how can you know yourself? How can you be authentic if you doing constantly what everybody else is doing? Growth, to grow, to elevate, to love yourself more. All of that kind of stuff is going to require you learning how to be who you really are. Like, you don't even, I don't want to be offensive, But how can you love yourself the way that you're supposed to love yourself if you continuing to try to be like everybody else? You don't even know who you are to love yourself. Who do you love? Like who you are, who are you? So we have to learn how to be authentic. Self-confidence requires you will learn how to be more authentic, and let your true self shine through, like who you really are, who you were born to be. You were not, nobody in this world were born exactly like somebody else. I have an identical twin sister, and I had an argument with her on the phone last week because she was trying to tell me how similar our fingerprints are. She was like, we got the same exact fingerprints. I was like, nobody has the same exact fingerprints. And I was like, they might be really similar, but they are not identical. Nobody has the same exact fingerprints as anyone else, even identical twins. I can unlock her phone, and she has like the fake face recognition on her phone to unlock her phone. I can unlock her phone with my face and all of that. But we don't have the same fingerprint. Nobody does. We are still different. We are identical twins, but we are still different. And that is what shines the most between us, because we look alike, but we are two totally different people. And anybody who knows us know that to be true. So self-confidence will take time to build. So I mean, if you are not one person who have been practicing on building your self-confidence, if you want to gain more self-confidence, you are going to have to look into creative ways that you can learn how to build your self-confidence more and more every day. So reflect on your achievements. Here are a few tips. Like, you can reflect on your achievements, talk yourself up, just like you doubt yourself and talk yourself down and tell yourself the things that you cannot do and believe what your haters and your naysayers say and all of that kind of stuff. Just like you can talk yourself down, you can talk yourself up too. So be your own little personal cheerleading squad, even when nobody else is cheering you on. And think about the things that you are good at, the thing that will help you be encouraged, instead of thinking about the things that you can't do and the things that you are not so good at. And we study looking at other people and looking at their talents and skills and abilities. What about yours? I'm just saying, what about your own talent, skills, and ability? Because you have some, you have quite a few, but you are so focused on other people's that you can't even really focus on your own. So self-confidence can literally change your life. So I ain't done. I am not done. I kind of went off on self-confidence a little bit. Y'all knew I was going to go there. I got self-doubt out the way so I can really focus on self-confidence. So here we go. Kanye level confidence. Kanye West. I know y'all know who Kanye West is. Big shout outs to Kanye West. We're going to talk a little bit about Kanye level confidence. Kanye West is a Grammy Award winning rapper, songwriter, producer, fashion designer. He was born in Atlanta, and to date, I don't know if net worth fluctuates, so I don't know. But to date, his net worth stands at $1.7 billion. So Kanye West is a black billionaire who started from nothing, who literally gave himself the confidence to get to the level of success that he obtained in life. Kanye level confidence. So we're going to talk about a few things that Kanye West does. I wrote a few notes out of his book of life when I looked up Kanye level confidence. When I was doing this study, it said that confidence and crazy has a thin line between it. So I mean, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Kanye West, whatever, but just looking into that man's life and success, he started from the bottom and he worked really hard like he scratched his way up from the bottom to gain the level of success that he was able to gain that he has right now. That man ain't got to work another day in his life if he don't want to, and his family for generations will be cool. And that's with him being married, him having kids, all of that kind of stuff, prenuptial agreements, child support. He financial wise, he's straight. So I know it's a lot of things they talk about celebrities. That's one thing that I hate. I don't care if it's somebody that is in the spotlight, well, they in the spotlight, so we gonna talk about them. I hate to hear people talk about other people, like something news or, the scoop and, the tea and all that kind of stuff. I hate that. Like, I really, really do, because I don't care if the person is famous or not. It ain't none of your business about what they going on in their life. And then you so busy talking, and then people just start making stuff up, So some stuff that you probably hear about certain people like Kanye West is probably not even true if he didn't tell you personally himself. You can't just believe everything that you hear. So anyway, I wrote down some methods from the Kanye level confidence. So Kanye has a 3-2-1 rule of self-confidence. So 3, show it first. Show it first. Kanye West quoted from the book Think and Grow Rich the author of Think and Grow Rich is my absolute top #1 favorite motivational speaker, author in the world. Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich many, many years ago, and so many people have become extremely successful just by following the rules of Think and Grow Rich. So Kanye quoted from Think and Grow Rich: tell the world what you intend to do, but show it first. So that is his number 3, counting down 3, 2, 1. Number 3 rule is show it first. Like, a lot of people got a whole lot of talking, and the action ain't catching up with the talking. Let me just say it like that, because you can talk all day long till your face fall off, but if you are not taking steps to do the things that you are talking about, then how is it possibly going to happen if you're doing more talking than you doing? Like, you have to do it. So show it first. So Kanye was just the type of person. I was looking up so many videos, and I looked into the lives of people like Kanye West and Jay-Z, and I watch, because they are motivational as well. So I look at some of their motivation, and I was looking at a video of Kanye West. I think he walked into Rockefeller Records, and he was rapping one of his songs that he wrote that went on to become extremely successful. And they were like ignoring him and walking past him. It looked like they called security in at one point. And I believe that it said that ultimately he ended up owning that record label, the same one they was like in this little box office with notes hanging up on the wall and all of that kind of stuff. And he moved on to eventually own the record label that rejected him. And when he was walking through there and rapping this song, is one of my favorite songs with Kanye West, and that thing, it blew through the freaking roof. But that just went to show, like, I mean, he really went through extreme measures, and he really believed in himself even when other people did not believe in him. It just showed multiple examples of Kanye West just like really making a fool out of himself. One video, I saw him jump up on like a lunchroom table, where at first he was like beating on the table when he jumped up there, and like his raps was so corny and whack, and everybody was telling him to shut up and sit down. But you could not tell Kanye, even when he wasn't the man, he had it fixed in his own mind that either one day he was going to be, or he already was like confident that he was already. I'm the man, they just don't know it yet. Like, he had that level of confidence. that was just like unimaginable, unstoppable, and look where it got him. Like it literally, that man, like shout out to Kanye West because it wasn't handed to him. Nobody gave him the tools. Like he didn't have a family member that was already a part of a record label, all of that kind of stuff. He had to walk into those places and make a fool out of himself over and over and over again until people started noticing him. And I was looking at a documentary on hip hop, the evolution of hip hop. I love it. Like so much stuff about I love hip hop, period. But so many things about hip hop that we don't even know. And 808 beats is something that originated. I know New Orleans, and I forgot that who Lil Wayne started off with, and the baby. I forget. I'm not gonna remember everything. But anyway, Kanye West did something with the 808 beats that was game changing, and I didn't even know that. And I know because I was looking at what they was doing with 808 beats back before. They didn't even allow us to use 808 beats in music and play it and, make songs with it, all that kind of stuff, until people just really started having the confidence and the nerve to say, listen, I'm going to use this 808 with this beat. And then it just became groundbreaking, world changing. It meant so much for where hip hop is today. Like y'all see that this hip hop that is going on now, go to Netflix and look at the evolution of hip hop. But shout out to Kanye West because he did something with those 808 beats that I didn't even know that if I didn't even know that if it wasn't for Kanye West that they would not be doing with 808 beats what they doing right now. I didn't even know that until I got into this study last night. I was like, wow, he played a part in that. But see, we don't even really look into stuff like that. But that just goes to show where his level of confidence was, because he wasn't afraid to play with them 808 beats and do things that people was too scared to do. He started doing it, and it really made a difference. Like everybody is doing it. And it's so funny because they literally label his confidence as Kanye level confidence, because it's so many artists out here that tries to get to the level of confidence that Kanye West has, because they see how much his confidence play a role in his success. So like major shout outs to Kanye West. So that was only rule number 3 in his theory. And rule number 3 was show it first. Rule number 2 is, wait a minute, where I'm at. Show it first. Rule number 2 is rejection is just a reset. So I was just telling you about how Kanye West used to get out there and make a fool out of himself. He was rejected so many times that meant nothing for this man's level of confidence. Like he was like, okay, on to the next, restart, try it a different way. Whatever he had to do, he did not allow reject. And this is his theory. I got this from research on Kanye level confidence. Rejection is just a reset. That is not my words. I didn't just make that up. Y'all can look up Kanye West's 3-2-1 method to Kanye level confidence. And the first one is you must have a clear vision. You have to look at it. You have to think about it. You have to imagine it. You have to dream it. You have to write it down. You can't just say, I want to get married one day and I want a good man. If you like light-skinned men, you got to say, I want them to be tall and light-skinned. You might want to put a number 6'2", size 14 shoe, because we know what that means. I ain't going to mess with y'all this morning. But y'all know what I'm saying. You have to be specific. You have to have a clear vision of what you want that thing to look like. So that is something that he did, was he had a very clear vision, which allowed him to take a straight route to his success, to where he wanted to be, because he knew what he wanted and he did what it took to get there. So you have to. I hear Steve Harvey saying that a lot. He said, I know Steve Harvey. Actually, he quotes it out the Bible. I don't know exactly what the Bible verse says. He said, I think it's Habakkuk. Steve Harvey says it all the time. Somewhere in Habakkuk, you have to have a vision and make it clear, or something like that. But vision is everything. You have to be specific. You have to know what you want. You got to know what color you want it to be. You got to know what you want it to smell like. Like, what kind of cologne do you like your man smelling like? Like, let him be a such and such cologne wearing type man or whatever. And like, before you know it, that man might walk past you looking at you harder than you looking at him, smelling exactly how you imagine he would smell like. Like, that is just how the world works. The world gives us what we want. If we can see it, if we think about it, if we can focus on it, if we can work for it, if we can write it down, if we have some kind of vision and direction for our life, it is the universal laws of nature. You have to know what you want so it can begin to start making its way to you. So shout out to Kanye West, that it only makes sense that you have a clear vision. So that is the 3-2-1 method in Kanye level confidence. I thought that was the perfect example for us just getting into learning how to have more confidence. I know a lot of people look at Kanye West like he is crazy and he is in the spotlight for different reasons, and a lot of people might not agree with the things that he have done or said or whatever, and a lot of people judge famous and successful people a lot. But when you get to look into the minds of these people, you will see how hard they worked and the steps that they took and the things that they have done over the years to gain the level of success that they have gained. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of confidence to do the things that they do. It might be extreme. I'm not telling you to do anything that's immoral or do things that you shouldn't do, but should you, for your dreams or for your vision, how far are you willing to go? Are you willing to step outside of yourself and do something that you may not be used to doing? I asked this question so many times, like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want your hopes? How bad do you want your dreams? How bad, what are you willing to do to go after the things that you want to go after? So competence leads to confidence, being able to execute at high levels. So I love execution. I am just a executing type of person. When I have a job to do, even when I was just like 2 feet all into running my cleaning service, whether it be a big job, big multi-contract, subcontracting plenty of buildings, or if I was out there cleaning beach houses or out there doing residential house cleaning, I am a executing type person. When I am catering, whether I'm catering a funeral or a birthday party or whatever I'm doing, my mind is on execute. And not only do I want to do a good job more than I want to get paid for it. And I'm always overcompensated for me doing things from my heart. Like the last catering job we did, we got $100 tip. I wasn't even expecting that. I remember doing catering a funeral, for someone that I know, and I ended up getting a big tip at the reception because people appreciate how I do what I do from the heart. Like, the money is going to come. But we talking about executing at high levels. I mean, do you know how to execute? You can't just get into something and then just be on the whim of how or when or you gonna finish it, or I finish it when I finish it and all that kind of stuff. We have to have the execution mentality. Like, I'm going to get this done, and I am going to do a good job at doing the executing at high levels. If you know how to execute at low levels, you will be able to execute at high levels. There's so much out here that God wants us to do, and we have to learn how to be executors. We got to learn how to get those things done and get them out the way so we can move on to bigger and better things. So don't be afraid to make mistakes and admit when you're wrong, and be a student of life. So these are all of the things that falls under learning how to have better self-confidence, y'all. And now y'all understand my excitement. Like, I was just such on the edge of my seat when preparing this message. Of course, I wrote down a few quotes, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up and get out of you guys' way. My first quote is from Tyra Banks, supermodel, producer, writer, actress. And this is what Tyra said: never dull your shine for somebody else. And we can do that. Sometimes we can allow the things that people say, and it's sometimes, especially who they are. It could be our loved one, or a spouse, or, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, your family member, whoever it may be. That person that you want to get encouragement from might shoot you down, and then in turn you might start shooting yourself down. Don't let nobody else steal your shine. If you know you have the confidence within yourself to shine through and to move forward and to do the things that you want to do, by all means, never let anybody or anything get in the way of the things that you have your heart and mind set out to do. So my second quote is from a woman named Sylvia Plath. She was a poet and novelist, I believe, back in like the 1960s. And she was a short story writer. Back then, she made a multi-millionaire out of herself by writing these they were like emotional type poems that became really famous back in her day. So this is what Mrs. Plath said: the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. So if you want to stop your own creativity, then you want to doubt yourself. But who wants to do that? Like, you don't want to be that person. So the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. You want to be creative. Creativity, I don't think we give creativity the credit that it deserves. We have to be creative in our self-growth, and everything that we decide to do with ourselves. We have to learn how to be creative. In everything, just like even a lot of these life lessons that I come to you guys with, this is one thing: having self-confidence. You can learn how to be more confident within yourself and do it by all means necessary. If you have to find little witty, quirky ways, something that might work for you, you don't have to expose it to anyone or tell anyone what you're doing, or none of that stuff. It is personal self-growth, personal development. It is between you and you and God. God is going to help you through this. Learn how to be creative, and please never, ever, ever doubt yourself. So I want you guys to repeat this after me. Good morning, and thank you guys so much to everyone who has tuned in to view this video. I appreciate y'all. You know I do. Don't forget, you can also drop some stars on here. Drop me some hearts, a little bit of love. If you want to write me a message or whatever, let me know that you are being motivated. You know, any tips, any suggestions, anything that you want to say to me personally. A lot of you guys are my family and friends. I love y'all. Some of y'all, you know, I don't know y'all, but I love y'all too. These messages are for Lottie Dottie and everybody, as my mother used to say. You know, I want everybody to be touched by my motivation and to know that someone with rough beginnings can have healthy, happy, and strong endings. That is the main point of me doing the things that I am stepping out and doing, because it ain't gonna always look pretty at first. It might be rough. You might have to go through some hell. You might have to have had a rough beginning. I have a very powerful testimony. I talk about my testimony and the things that God has allowed me to make it through on here all the time. I am so grateful for where God has me at today. And I really want someone out there to know that it doesn't matter what it looked like in the beginning, or who did well, or the mistakes that you have made, or how many children you have, or if you chose the wrong spouse, and none of that. You can still be used by God with your convictions or whatever you got on your record or wherever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can start exactly where you are and move on to become where and whatever you want to be, and go wherever you want to be in this life. No matter what you look like, how old you are, there is hope. How young you are, there is hope for everybody. And I just really want people to know that. Start where you are and begin to move forward. And I believe that self-confidence and learning how to rid ourselves of self-doubt is very, very is valid. Like, we need these things to move forward. So that was the whole point of me relaying this message. I am not here to waste you guys' time or just to blow a whole bunch of smoke to y'all. I want this to be effective. I want someone to get something out of it. Hopefully I have helped someone today. That is my main motive. So I am going to get into this week's affirmation. I want you to keep it with you. I normally say all day long, but keep this affirmation with you all week long until I drop another one on you next week. So repeat this, write it down, keep it all day long. Today, I will allow self-confidence to lead the way. Today, I will allow my self-confidence to lead the way. I'm going to say it again. Today, I will allow my self-confidence to lead the way. I'm talking to myself too. I will allow my self-confidence to lead the way today. And I really practice so much self-confidence within myself on the regular basis, and I am very, very comfortable with who I am. I am learning how to accept myself more. I think I am an extremely beautiful person inside and out, and it was just so much more for me to learn, obviously, just from me preparing this message. So that's why I say, like, you might think, you too good to stop and listen to this message, and you think you may have all the confidence in the world, and so be it. You may have all the confidence in the world, but you can still learn how to have more confidence. You can learn things that you may not know, and it can help you move higher and move forward and gain more success or whatever you want to do in your life and in your future. So I want you to say this to yourselves as well. I have no room in my life for self-doubt, because you don't. I'm telling you, there's no room. If you occupy yourself with the things that really matters most, where you gonna put self-doubt at? You ain't gonna have nowhere to put it, because you're gonna be so busy doing the things that you are really supposed to be doing. So you ain't gonna have no room for self-doubt. I'm speaking facts to y'all right now. I am speaking strictly facts to you guys right now, because when you think about it, if you take your time out to do the things that you know you are really supposed to be doing, fix your mind on thinking about the things that you know you are supposed to be thinking about, then you will know 100% for a fact, for sure, that I don't even have nowhere to put this self-doubt at right now. I don't have room for it, because I'm so busy doing the things that I need to be doing. So practice, practice, practice. That is what everything. Build up your self-confidence. Do things that you have to do every single day to build up your self-confidence. Make it a habit to be more confident in yourself on the regular basis, and continue to rid yourself of self-doubt. I don't care how long you've been in the habit of doubting yourself and your own capabilities and your own abilities and the things that you know how to do. So you doubting yourself for what? You done did it 100 times before. You probably ain't do it in a long time, but you still good at it. Stop doubting yourself. We ain't doing that no more. So good morning. Thanks to you all. I love you guys. Don't forget, I gotta drop my stuff on here real quick before I get on out of here. Go to my YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe, tell your neighbor, tell your friend. That is true value, knowing your worth on YouTube. Please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate all you guys' support. Also, go to Amazon. I have 4 books published and on sale on Amazon right now. My first book is True Value, Knowing Your Worth. My second book is Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures. My third book is, wait a minute, Feed Your Soul. Feed Your Soul, and that is a health and wellness book, which is your personal guide to health and wellness. Feed Your Soul, your personal guide, to health and wellness. And fourth and well, I ain't gonna say finally, because I am getting ready to start on another book, but my fourth book, my last book of the collection, is Religiously, and that is a closer look at spirituality and religion. Those 4 books are currently on sale. If you search up those names, even if you don't want to purchase them right now, you can get a quick description of what the books are like. I think they even allow you to read a few pages out of the book for free, just so you can get a quick glimpse on the inside of what those books entail. They are not very long books. They are quick and very powerful. They are power-packed, motivational reads that I believe will have an impact on this world. I believe it will have an impact on you. You can put it in your book collection. You can go back to it every now and then. You can pass it on to your loved one. You can buy it as a gift to someone else. Mother's Day is coming up. You can buy somebody my 4-book collection as a gift for Mother's Day. I am quite sure that they will greatly appreciate it. So I love y'all. I really, really do. But I have to move on with my day. God bless you. In the meantime, y'all look out for more morning motivations. Lord willing, I will be back here on Friday with another morning motivational message of the day. In the meantime, y'all continue to be blessed.